This video chart presentation of Bizzingo Inc. brought to you by allpennystocks.com. Bizzingo is a bulletin board listed company trading under ticker BIZZ. I went ahead and scaled this into a 3-month chart. If you scaled this back out, no matter to what time frame, you'd see it had a pretty much limited trading history. Even with the sporadic trading history, you can kind of see it found itself a groove right in here through this maybe 50-cent bottom, all the way up through 80 cents, maybe even a dollar. Look closely here, you'll see $1.50. If you scale back a little farther, you'd see a couple more $1.50s. Right now, the focus is that volume has started to come in on a more regular level. But some key things have happened with these candles moving above the 50-day moving average and 200-day moving average. So we'll take a quick run through the indicators. We're not going to get a ton, like I say, because of that trading history. We've got some good things going on. MACD trended its way back towards zero. You can see it was holding a sideways channel. Now broke through zero. Seen a slight pullback in the price over the last few days, and as a result, we got the histogram bars trending back down a little bit. 12 pulling back towards the 26 some. 26 EMA, though, about ready to break through zero. That's something positive, something that you look for all the time. PPO, very similar. ADX down in a pretty low position. You can see possibly if it turns through here, it is making a higher low. Lots of room for this to put together some true strength to a trend. Right now, just in a trading pattern. Relatively neutral, but certainly leaning towards the bullish side of things. MFI is holding up very high. Buying pressure has been pretty good in this stock. Accumulation distribution coming back down off of that peak when it had that big spike in volume and buying pressure. Still in a fine position, though, holding a higher high, broke out of its channel. Shaking money flow reiterates the fact that buying pressure is still overcoming selling pressure. CCI just broke back down through 100. What I'd be looking for in this is to certainly hold over top of zero. Per Lambert's definition, that was the buy point. That would be the sell point. So if it turns, rolls right back up through it, that would be a buy signal again for strict followers of the CCI. But what I look for is holding over top of zero, holding the upper half of the indicator, maintaining a bullish position of the chart. Full stow certainly shows that momentum came into this play, holding strong, holding around 80. We reference this a lot of times in charts. Upon the break of 80 or pushing of 80, you'll see a little retrace. And if it rolls back down and pushes right back up through it, that's a very strong bullish indication. So we keep my eye on that for another bullish cross and to try and break that 80 barrier. Tricks, another good long-term indicator, of course, bullish cross. Uptrend, you always want to see it break through zero. More importantly, it's just breaking these long-term slides it was having, which again, they're based on low volume. But now that volume's starting to come in, we're starting to see good things happen with the indicators. And that kind of all ties together. We always emphasize the importance of any indicator holding the upper half being a bullish position. RSIs, all three of them in close proximity, holding over top of 50. Again, a very nice look. What I see when I look at these candles is basically a flag pattern. The pull will be somewhere through there along these lines. And your flag itself will be somewhere right through there. And that's what I think technical traders will have their eyes on. I'm going to remove that flag just to not clutter things up too much. But it'll all come back into play when you see that there's a support level at 65 cents. And even more recently with this movement, there's another support level right there at 70 cents. Those are the two key spots of support that I'll have my eye on. Even if it slips through 70 and comes down to 65, it's still holding about half of the move from coming down here off of 50 cents all the way up to about 80 cents. And on any climb, you always want to see 50% of the move held. It's just a much stronger indication of potential upward trend. But I like the fact that right now it's holding 70 because it's held it as a support level now for about 5 or 6 days. Even though it's a short-term support level, it's an important support level. So we'll look for it to continue. Other key components of bullish charts are holding over top of the 50 and 200-day moving averages, which this is doing right now. What I look for is some upward movement to try and take these moving averages and curl them. They are still channeling sideways. And the bullish of charts are holding over top of those moving averages, as well as moving averages are trending upward. So, of course, that does take a little bit of time. These factor in a lot of days. But in the future, if they start trending upward, again, it's just another bullish sign. Now, it does have some roadblocks in the way. Resistance is pretty strong right there, about 79.80 cents. Historically, even going back through here, a little bit of trouble with it. But more importantly, here recently, it's tried twice to push through it and didn't make it through. So that's going to be the upper part of the flag and the first level of resistance. That will always tie into volume, so I'll be looking for the volume bars to pick back up if it can take that resistance out. Because there's not much in its way again until up there pretty close to $1. It's probably 98 cents. But the dollar is always a psychological barrier anyways. It's obviously a big move from where it is, about a 50% gain, and about 30% past that resistance. So in general, technical traders are always looking for a play that's near a support level with a substantial upside. And BIZZ certainly falls into that as long as his 70 cents and worst case scenario 60 cent support levels hold. Beyond that, support really doesn't come into play again until around 55 or even 50 cents. But because of the volume picking up, the moving average is getting tucked underneath it, and the close support levels, I'm really looking for this to try and push on this upper level. So I'll certainly be keeping an eye on that resistance. So there's some pretty good things going on with the BIZZ chart, but as always, it's going to tie right back into support and resistance levels, and so it's one to throw on the watch list and see if it decides to make a move one way or the other. As always, it's merely my interpretation of the Bizzingo chart. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence, consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure and do not base any investment decisions about any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching and trade smart.